It's Thursday, so we're getting down to business with Cosmo Macero, Vanille and Associates. And Cosmo, this ongoing crisis in Syria, of course, we're wondering how that's going to impact folks here at home. And I suppose by the weekend we could be looking at gas pumps a little bit differently. Also, home heating oil this winter, perhaps.
We certainly could. The ongoing civil war in Syria, the threat of U.S. military action, sort of the latest threat to disrupt oil supplies. You know, the lingering impact from the summer of unrest in Egypt, too, has played a role here. In Libya, there's worker strikes that's affected that. So it's very possible we could see a very quick spike over the weekend even in gasoline prices. The good news is that whenever there's a quick spike like that, you know what happens? Demand generally drops soon thereafter, and the price goes down. So it's a little bit of bad first and good, but I think overall we should expect to see some kind of a spike in prices followed by a decline because when demand drops.
We'll look forward to the decline on the other side, I guess. All right, let's talk about fast food workers across the country and, of course, here in Boston today, out protesting. This has been a subject of much debate here on our newscast tonight. People want to know, do these people deserve to get paid more than they're making currently? Certainly in Massachusetts, it's $8. They're looking at 15. That's a big increase, though, and who ends up paying for that in the end?
Yeah, no, that is really big. It comes down to whether there's room for some increase at the lower wage scale in that minimum wage, which the answer is probably yes, there is. Maybe to $9 like the president wants, maybe even to more. Or can we drive that up to what they call a living wage of $15 or so? Somewhat unrealistic. Those jobs are generally a first step up the ladder, an entry-level position designed to learn some skills, get your feet under yourself in advance. It's really tough to think that an entry-level job can support a family, and it's really unrealistic economically. We probably can do better, and maybe the president's proposal is somewhere around that is where this ends up. But you know what? 50 cities across America, including Boston today, a lot of people, hardworking, saying, hey, you know what? This isn't enough.
A couple things come to mind with me on this. At $15, you're looking at probably fewer employees in the stores, perhaps more automation involved in terms of how things are prepared. And, you know, and also the fact that, you know, if you go up to $15, I mean, we may see that in terms of prices of burgers that you pay for.
Yeah, and all that revenue, the revenue side is fungible. So you know what? If you're giving up more here, your other costs aren't changing. Whether it's healthcare, whether it's supplies,
right? Business
owners got to take that into consideration. It's got to give somewhere, and it almost always gives on personnel.
Sure does. All right, let's talk about home prices in Massachusetts. Great number coming out. I mean, best prices since 2006 as far as home values are concerned.
Yeah, up 18%. You know, a lot of people in July. They want to beat the interest rate. They wanted to beat the interest rate increases. They want to close and get in place in a new community before school starts. That was certainly behind that. But there's just, you know, buyers are out there. There still is not enough supply. That's what's keeping prices up, though, because there's not enough supply on the market to meet the demand.
Yeah, twofold of that is the fact that some people are waiting, trying to get more money for their current homes, and there's not a lot of new inventory out there, correct?
No, there's not a lot of new inventory. There is a guessing game. People are like, you know what, this market is so hot, it must be getting ready to get hotter, so maybe I should hang on even longer. And they're not putting their house on the market, and that means there's just not enough inventory.
Exactly right. We're going to have to leave it at that, but another great talking business, getting down to business with Cosmo Macero and Vanille and Associates. Good to see you, friend.
All right,
we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa, over to you.
All right.